So we have our choose your own adventure story here, and if you look at the extension we will be taking here, and you can see that one of the extra credit opportunities is that you would create your game, or you create your adventure game in the form of a real game, like an RPG game. And so I just wanted to go over that really quickly. Well, I wanted to go over that and also another aspect, right? So, like, if you look at this game here, you could see that I have imported time, and I've done time.sleep for 1.5 seconds after I print out every prompt from the program. And so, if I go ahead and run it, you can see down here at the bottom. Daniel, wake up! Monsters are attacking the village. What would you like to do? Right? Do this, do that, do this other thing. Well, this was an idea that came from Rohit because he did this in his program, and I felt like it really, I don't know, like added an extra element to the game, like as if someone was talking to you, right? And so, if you would like to do this, this is available, and it's very easy to do. You just import the time module, and then you time.sleep after every print line in your story. And so, what I also saw someone else do was that they made, I think it was Andy, they made a function, right, that takes in a string, prints the string, and then time sleeps for a bit. Right? So then in your program here, instead of calling the print function, you would call your delay print function, or whatever it is that you wanted to call your function that does this. And then you wouldn't need the sleep 1.5 because you're sleeping up in the function. So if I did do it this way, the way that Andy did it, then my program would be about half as long, right? Because then I wouldn't have all the time.sleeps in my program. And then, so that's that. And another thing I wanted to kind of go over is Rohit kind of, I don't know, laid the blueprint, right, when he made his Choose Your Own Adventure, because he made like just a general RPG. Like you have an energy, you have an attack, you have defense. Like Gil, I guess, is the gold that was used in Final Fantasy. So that's what I used here. And then we have our weapon, and of course every weapon has its own like set of attack power. Um, and so yeah, we have our damage, and then we have our weapons up here in an array. And then as we go through the story, like these variables would be modified, right? So let's say like we come here to choice one, we okay, I'm sorry, we come here. So we come here, we make our variables, the program begins. I run the wake up function, and in the wake up function, we have a bunch of different print lines, right? And at the very end, I say input, right? And input is going to choose one of these numbers, 1, 2, or 3, option 1, 2, or 3, and it's going to return 1, 2, or 3. So then choice is going to be equal to 1, 2, or 3. And now it's going to jump into this branch statement, and let's say I choose number one. Well, number one is going to run the run function, like I ran away from the monsters, right? And you want to notice that I saved it in a variable. And of course, you would assume that that's the case because the run function is a fruitful function and returns a value, right? So if I go ahead and jump up to, and notice that I passed in the hero energy, right? Because of course, these variables here only exist in the main function. And so to affect change in the program, I'm sorry, in the function run, we need to pass in the hero energy value. Right? And so, and you can also make these global if you'd like, right? But let me see, let me go up and run up to run, right? And so up and run, we go ahead and say all this different stuff, like he runs up the stream and then he drinks some water. And after he drinks some water, well, of course, his energy should go up, right? So it goes up, and I say hero energy is equal to hero energy plus 10, and then I print out, yeah, his energy goes up to this value. And then we come over here, he eats a handful of blueberries, but then he doesn't recognize that they're holly berries, which are actually poisonous. Oh no, right? And so now his hero energy goes down by 25, and it prints it out, right? So this is just a way, and of course I return back hero energy just so I can, have it back in my main function. But you would not need to return if these were global variables. Okay, and so what is the point here? Oh, the point is like, yeah, so you would create your game using these variables, as like, I don't know, I guess like status of your hero, and if this energy equals 0, then you would have your hero die, right? Or I'm sorry, be instead of die, that's probably a little too harsh. Maybe we could say, what did I say here? To be a little bit more politically correct, I said something along the lines of was too tired to continue, right? Okay, so you could do something like that. And what I was also thinking was, you know how a lot of times in an RPG, there's like an area of the RPG where you need to like gain experience points so that you can have enough energy, or I'm sorry, yeah, enough energy and enough attack power to battle the monsters in the next area. Well, what you could do is you could have like a loop around, like a algorithm here, which would have you walking around encountering different types of monsters randomly, which would increase your experience points, right? And then at the end of each rotation or each round or each loop, you would ask the guy, like, do you want to continue on to the forest, right, when that's of course where the more powerful monsters are, or do you want to go back to the Badlands, and that's where you're powering up or you're leveling up your character, with enemies that are easily killed, right? So yeah, so you could do that, and you could also kind of make a town where you can buy a potion and increase your health if you need to. So like yeah, if you want to get like super nerdy with it, you can do that, right, to make your game more interesting. So that's just out there. Just want to let you know, and that's that.